All right, let's get right into a story that, honestly, it's the stuff of nightmares. We're heading back to 1898, deep in a corner of Kenya. It's a place where this grand vision of the British Empire runs headfirst into a kind of primal terror, something that just defied all logic. We're talking about the man-eaters of Tsavo.
Now, to really get what happened here, you gotta understand the place itself. Tsavo, it wasn't just some empty spot on a map, you know? This was an ancient land. It had its own history, its own rhythm, its own rules, long before anyone even thought about laying down a railroad track. And right into the middle of this ancient land comes the Uganda Railway. I mean, this thing was a huge undertaking, a massive feat of engineering, meant to slice right through Africa, connecting the coast to the interior. To get it done, they brought in thousands of workers, mostly from British India, to basically tame this incredibly harsh, remote landscape. Their job? Build a bridge over the Tsavo River. This railway? It was supposed to be a shining symbol of progress, this iron spine laid across the savannah.
So who's in charge of this part of the project? That would be Colonel John Henry Patterson. And this guy, he was the poster child for Victorian confidence. He's an engineer, he's a soldier, everything is about logic and order. For Patterson, every challenge was just a problem to be solved with science and grit. The wild animals, even lions, just another obstacle on the blueprint, another thing to be managed.
But the horror that was about to unfold, it didn't come with a roar. It crept in. It all started so quietly. One morning, a worker is just gone from his tent. No signs of a fight. Nobody saw anything. There was just this chilling, empty space where a person should have been.
And pretty soon, that quiet was shattered. The whispers turn into real fear when they find the first hard proof. A tent is ripped open, and leading away from it, a dark trail of blood that just disappears into the dense, thorny bush. And that's when it hits them. That's when everyone realizes they're being hunted. But what happened next? It just didn't make any sense. This wasn't how lions were supposed to hunt. The two of them, the two lions doing this, they worked together with this terrifying intelligence. Get this, they were pulling men through thick thorn walls, snatching people from supposedly guarded areas. And the craziest part, they'd ignore all the easy prey, like cattle, to go after the men. It's like they knew how to outsmart every single trap Patterson laid for them. It wasn't just about food anymore. This felt personal. It felt like a game. So how many people are we talking about? Well, the exact number is debated, but the estimates are just staggering. For almost 9 months, these two lions held the entire camp in a state of terror. Officially, the count was around 35. But if you listen to local accounts or even read Patterson's own journals, the number could be well over 100 people. 100. The sheer scale of the killing was something no one had ever seen before. And as the death toll climbed, the fear just spiraled out of control. It actually started to split the camp in two. See, people had two totally different ways of explaining what was going on. One was, well, the modern scientific view. The other was something else entirely, something ancient. So you have this deep divide. On one side, you've got Patterson, the engineer. For him, it's simple. It's a logistical problem. Two rogue lions behaving badly. The solution? Traps and guns. But for the workers and the local people, oh no, this was not natural. They were convinced these weren't even lions. They believed they were spirits, maybe demons, taking the form of lions to punish them for cutting through their sacred land with this iron road. Two completely different realities. And in that battle between logic and belief, fear won. Hands down. Hundreds of workers just packed up and fled. They were terrified, and who could blame them? And just like that, this massive project, this huge symbol of the empire's power, it grinds to a dead halt. I mean, think about that. For a while there, two lions had literally stopped the British Empire in its tracks.
This, right here, was the moment everything changed for Patterson. Suddenly, it's not just about building a bridge. His reputation is on the line, the entire project is on the line, and, of course, the lives of his men are on the line. So the engineer had to become a hunter. And it wasn't just a job anymore. It became a total obsession. He had to prove that his modern world of logic and rifles could beat this ancient nightmare.
You can actually see his mindset shift when you read his journals. He starts writing about it differently. He admits, this isn't just hunting some animal. He sees it as a strategic fight, a battle of wits against a clever, vicious enemy. He literally calls it a war. And the end of this war, it was unbelievably brutal and very, very personal. After weeks and weeks of trying and failing, Patterson finally gets a shot at the first one. He wounds it, but it doesn't go down. Instead, it turns and charges him in the pitch blackness. He barely gets off a final shot to kill it. Then, a few days later, he has to face the second one, the bigger one. And this time, the lion ambushes him. It turns into this chaotic, terrifying struggle in the dark, basically at point-blank range, before he finally manages to kill the second beast.
So the two lions are dead, and this strange silence falls over the camp at Tsavo. The roaring is gone, the immediate danger is over. You think the nightmare was finished, right? But what happened over those 9 months? It left a scar, a deep one, not just on the land, but on everyone who lived through it.
So, what happened after? Well, the workers, they slowly started coming back. They felt safe again. And the bridge, the whole reason they were there, it was finally finished. Progress, you could say, got back on track. But it wasn't the same. The story of those lions, the man-eaters, it became the stuff of legend, a truly chilling tale that people would tell for years and years to come.
And that really brings us to the question that still hangs over this story, even today. Sure, scientists now have theories. Maybe the lions had bad teeth, maybe their usual prey was gone, but none of that really truly explains their incredible intelligence, their strategy, their pure malice. So you're left wondering, was Patterson right all along? Were they just a couple of rogue animals? Or did that iron road awaken something else, something ancient and very, very angry, sleeping in the heart of Tsavo?